College football fans, it's game day. We've got all the action right here on Denver 7. Week 1 of the fall season starting with the CSU Rams as they take on the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. Holiday weekend festivities now in full swing across Colorado, who's shutting down for Labor Day as summer comes to a close.
Launch Director Charlie Blackwell-Thompson has called a scrub of the attempt of launch of Artemis 1.
Those words Monday delaying a historic mission to space. But today, NASA gets another shot. We're previewing today's rescheduled launch and the Colorado connection, hoping to put Americans back on the moon.
Good Saturday morning and welcome to Denver 7 News. I'm Jessica Crawford.
And I'm Katie LaSalle. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning. Here are some of the top things happening across Colorado this Labor Day weekend. The Colorado State Fair does run through Monday in Pueblo. A lot of fun, but also a little controversy happening right now. One artist is having to defend his first place win for digital artwork at the fair. He created a piece using an artificial intelligence program on his computer, drawing some criticism from people in the art community who call this win unfair. Artist Jason Allen says when submitting the piece, he made it clear that he created the work using AI, prompting state management, the fair management there, to re-examine the rules.
Not everyone's bummed about summer ending. Labor Day weekend is the weekend to get deals on the upcoming ski season. So if you need gear, Christie Sports Powder Days sale runs through September 11th, and you can find gear deals at the stores in Littleton, Dillon, and Vail, plus online. And Epic Mountain Gear has a sale going on right now. It's also the weekend to get deals on ski passes and packs.
Winter will be here before we know it. But a labor tradition that's back in Denver this weekend is, of course, the Taste of Colorado. And this year it will be at Civic Center Park instead of on the 16th Street Mall because of construction going on there. This free festival will have 5 music stages, 50 artisan booths, plus more than 30 food trucks. But do bring a credit card this year because you'll need to pay for food and drinks. And this year they're not doing tickets. Kickoff is at 11 o'clock this morning. And let's take you live outside over Civic Center Park where they're getting set up for the Taste of Colorado. It is going to be a beautiful kickoff to this Labor Day weekend here across the state. A lot of sunshine out there this morning. We are still seeing a little bit of storm activity down south, but as you can see from downtown Denver, north and west up near Glenwood Springs, it is crystal clear skies. Here's a look at our radar and satellite. A little more cloud coverage this morning from Lyman extending to Burlington, and one storm just north of Trinidad will make its way out of the state over the next several hours. We do have another air quality alert in place, an air advisory in effect for the Denver metro area until at least 4 o'clock this afternoon. We aren't dealing with the excessive heat that's off to the west, encompassing a big portion of the west coast all the way up through North Dakota. But in terms of our temperatures, it is still going to be very warm for this time of the year. Right now we're in the 50s and 60s across the plains, 40s to low 50s in the mountains, but expect another afternoon of daytime highs reaching the 90s, around 5 to 10 degrees above average for today, even hotter for Sunday and on Labor Day. Your full forecast still to come.
The countdown is on, and the second go-around to get the Artemis 1 off the ground. This is a live look at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, where the rocket will hopefully lift off later today. NASA and some engineers here in Colorado are cautiously optimistic after the launch got delayed Monday due to an engine issue and some bad weather. Denver 7's Christian Lopez is live with the plans to try again today. Christian.
Yeah, engineers say that they have since fixed the issues. The weather is expected to cooperate. Everything is ready for takeoff, which is expected in just a few hours. This is the first rocket designed to take humans to the moon in more than 50 years. And Colorado has played a pivotal role in this Mission 1 launch. Some of the rocket's design and manufacturing were done right here in Colorado. The Orion space capsule on top of the rocket was mainly designed by Lockheed Martin engineers from right here in our state. The heat shield and the back shell were also made here in Colorado, and some of the system testing was also done here. Engineers, they say that they've solved the problems, but weather can also become an issue.
One thing folks don't understand is that rockets, when they go through the atmosphere, can actually trigger their own lightning strike. So even though we might not have a thunderstorm in the vicinity, the atmosphere can be electrified enough to have a lightning bolt trigger from the rocket launching through the atmosphere.
And the rocket won't have any humans on it this time around. The next step in the mission, Artemis 2, that one is expected to carry humans in 2024, with astronauts slated to arrive on the moon in late 2025. Now, if the launch does not happen today for some reason, the next window would be Monday. But if everything goes as planned, then that window launch, that'll happen at 12:17 today. Back to you guys.
All right, we'll be watching. Thank you, Christian. Labor Day weekend, it's the last weekend before a lot of really sweet summer places shut down. For example, this is the last weekend for Water World, for humans at least. The park will reopen next Saturday, but for the dogs.
Elitch Gardens Water Park closes tomorrow, but the amusement park will be open weekends all the way until Halloween.
Also, Aurora has 2 outdoor pools open this weekend, Del Mar and Meadow Hills, but they'll close after Labor Day. Meanwhile, Denver has already closed its outdoor pools. Broomfield's Water Park, the Bay, is also closing on Monday, but it will reopen next Saturday, also for the dogs.
As tens of thousands of Coloradans take off for the holiday weekend, Colorado's Attorney General is calling on Congress to address consumer complaints about the airline industry. The U.S. Department of Transportation reports air travel service complaints are up 270% compared to before the pandemic. Phil Weiser is leading a coalition of 38 state attorneys general calling out the airline industry for failing their customers. According to them, they're saying the U.S. Department of Transportation is the problem. Well, Weiser says he sent multiple letters to the agency to investigate the more than 600 complaints his office received about Colorado-based Frontier alone, more than any other airline.
Under federal law, it's up to the Department of Transportation to take consumer complaints seriously, to investigate them, and to hold companies accountable when they break the law. Unfortunately, the Department of Transportation isn't doing that.
Customers say they still haven't received promised credits for flights that were changed during the pandemic, and they're still facing unreasonable delays and cancellations.
Colorado's once sky-high marijuana industry is coming back down to earth. The Department of Revenue says medical marijuana sales in particular are continuing to drop. Denver 7's Amy Wattis talked with experts who say they're concerned about the impact this could have on medical marijuana patients.
This is the lowest they've been since the legalization of rec. I'm very worried.
Worried is an understatement for Truman Bradley, the executive director of the Marijuana Industry Group, a trade association in Colorado that provides support for marijuana-related businesses and believes in safe access to clean products for all Coloradans and its visitors. To give you some context, according to the State Department of Revenue, medical marijuana sales in the state in June of this year were $19.2 million, dropping from $34.5 million in June of 2021, a 44% drop. Bradley believes the industry is suffering for a number of reasons.
On the medical side, some very strict purchase limits came in. You know, for pharmaceuticals, patients can get up to a 1-month supply, but for medical cannabis, they're daily purchase limits. For folks who are immunocompromised or disabled, this is a real problem.
Which he says is making some patients resort to buying recreational marijuana, which is costing them more money due to the higher tax base, and pushing some medical marijuana businesses to shut its doors, like Buddy Boy dispensaries and Mile High Green Cross, closing their locations over the last few months. The city of Denver says it's seen a decline in people applying for a medical marijuana license over the last 5 years, citing similar reasons.
We think it might be because people just don't want to go through the hassle of getting their medical card. They rather just walk down the street and go to a recreational dispensary.
Stats from Denver's annual marijuana report show the city had 731 active licensed marijuana businesses in January of 2014 and is currently at 433 as of January of this year.
I think really what some people are wondering if there is an oversaturation of marijuana market in Denver. We have a lot of stores, and whether it be medical or recreational.
Bradley says the recreational industry is also taking a hit.
Recreational sales are a significant portion of the tax revenue, but recreational sales are down over 20% as well. There's a real attack on the industry right now.
Saying things like inflation and increasing taxes is contributing to that. So he's hopeful the industry will make an upward trend before things get worse. Amy Wattis, Denver 7.
And overall sales of marijuana in Colorado are on pace for their lowest total since before the pandemic. The Department of Revenue says sales during the first 6 months of the year totaled $906 million. And if that trend holds, sales by the end of the year would surpass $1.8 billion. That would be the lowest total since 2019. Total sales in 2020 and 2021 both topped $2 billion.
Colorado is expected to get new fall COVID boosters targeting the Omicron variant after Labor Day. The CDC gave the green light to new boosters earlier this week. The shots are made by both Pfizer and Moderna. It's not clear how much protection they will offer, as testing is still being done on that.
And may be hard to believe, but it is time to start talking about flu shots as well. Signs are already starting to pop up outside Walgreens and other pharmacies to let you know it is flu shot time. An infectious diseases doctor told us in September and October they are the best months to get your flu shot. Some are expecting an early and more severe flu season this year.
There are some years that I personally may wait a little bit because we don't anticipate such a significant flu season. But with what we're seeing this year, would really encourage folks to get it early.
Dr. Pisney adds that you can get your flu shot at the same time as you get any other vaccines like the COVID booster, pneumonia, or your shingles vaccination.
The Colorado Department of Education has announced this year's 7 finalists for the 2023 Colorado Teacher of the Year. One of these teachers will be selected for the honor in October, and then they'll be considered for the national title. The finalists come from all over the state, and they teach everything from elementary to high school. Denver 7 is proud to be a partner of the Colorado Teacher of the Year program, and you can learn more about the finalists right now at thedenverchannel.com.
If you give a child a book, you can open their imagination, take them to places they've never been, plant the seeds for future success, and help break the cycle of poverty. And that's why, again, this year, we're asking you to donate money and help us provide quality books to kids who need them. Just log on to thedenverchannel.com/giveabook right now and tell us how much you're willing to give. For just $5, you can buy a child a book and give a child a chance. Well, the GOAT giving her all on the tennis court one last time. We have a look at Serena Williams' farewell to tennis after her final match in New York last night.
But first, the FBI trying to unravel a mystery at Mar-a-Lago. What agents investigating classified information stored at former President Trump's Florida residence just can't figure out.